Class is in session. Today, let's talk about the teaser. A teaser is a multi-leg bet where you shift the point spread in your favor. You get better numbers, but every selection has to win. It doesn't matter what you bet if you don't have the insights. Tune into SportsGrid and get ahead of the class.
I don't think he was trying to take a shot at the team at all. It was just a plain and simple and obvious fact.
I think what's difficult, though, is, and I agree with you, right? I guess I agree with LeBron. The assessment of it all, it's why the Lakers organization seems to be comfortable with that truth, unless they disagree. But again, I don't really know how you disagree.
Game time decisions, only on SportsGrid.
You guys had 2 weeks to prepare for this game. You knew you were facing a Mike McDonald defense that disguises everything, and that was your game plan, to play scared. I mean, Mike Vrabel, I love the guy. He played that game, Donnie, like it was a preseason scrimmage in August and not the Super Bowl.
The early line, only on SportsGrid.
It looked like a clump of grass. It didn't look like an eagle. That's the one, by the way, that USA Today claimed was the best ad. They thought the Lay's ad was number 2. The worst ad was any ad that had AI in it or had an AI company behind it. It wasn't because of the AI. It was because they were the most nonsensical ads you've ever seen. Does anybody look at these ads and understand if they are actually trying to do what they're trying to do, which is to showcase the product as opposed to being great with AI? Very embarrassing.
Newswire, only on SportsGrid.
Down. Hey, what's up? We're back. Another edition of the Craig Carton Show. Great to have you here. My main man, Tyrone A. Johnson, right there. You're going to have a tough day today, Tyrone, because you were the guy that sat there yesterday saying, why can't you give a 41-year-old a break? He's got a bad ankle. He's got a tough time running.
I actually didn't say that at all. I didn't say that at all.
All you weak-ass LeBron stans coming at me on Twitter. You don't have the balls to say nothing to me when you see me, but on Twitter, everybody's a tough guy. Oh, look at LeBron James. Oh, this guy has to have a triple-double. Funny how his ankle wasn't good enough for him to play the night before against the San Antonio Spurs, but in a night when you have no Cooper Flagg and the Mavericks are a bad basketball team with half their roster out, LeBron James not only plays and obviously played very well last night against the Mavericks. I want you to walk me through this. LA Lakers up by 16 points, 3 minutes and change to go. Mavericks miss a shot, and Austin Reeves gets a rebound, and everybody starts yelling at him because that should have been LeBron's rebound to get the triple-double. So what does J.J. Redick do? In a game that they're blowing the Mavericks out and LeBron is still on the court, one might say to themselves, why does a guy at 41 years old who couldn't play against the San Antonio Spurs because allegedly he had a bad ankle and couldn't go? We know what he's really doing, folks. He's waiting to play against lesser opponents so he can stat pad because that's what he does. Why would that guy be in the game up by 16 with 3 minutes to go? But then it gets better. After Austin Reeves gets that rebound, J.J. Redick actually calls a timeout. Now, I'm thinking they're calling a timeout to get all the starters out of the game because you're up by 16, 3 minutes to go. The game is a wrap. That's not why he called timeout. He called timeout so that they could tell Austin Reeves, no more rebounds. You stole a rebound from LeBron, and LeBron's not coming out of the game until he gets a triple-double. Because, again, it's not about his well-being. It's not about protecting him for a playoff run. It's about stat padding. We got to make sure LeBron gets one more rebound so that he gets a triple-double, and then we'll take him out of the game. These are facts. This is what happened last night. Not healthy enough to play against the Spurs, healthy enough to play against the Mavericks without Cooper Flagg, and wouldn't come out of the game up by 16, 3 minutes and change to go until he does what? until he stat pads, gets the extra rebound, which he stole from Hayes on his own team so that he could get the triple-double. Now let's call another timeout. Let's get him out of the game so everybody can celebrate that at 41 years old, he's good enough to get a triple-double. It is a clown maneuver by a guy that is only interested in his own stats so that he can celebrate himself. There is no plausible reason why LeBron James, who allegedly has a bad ankle, is in a basketball game against a bad team up by 16 with 3 minutes to go. Your turn, sir.
Yeah, so
I win. That's right. Thank you.
So
very
what I'm
much.
going to do is I'm going to speak some facts.
Speak some facts about LeBron and the Lakers last night.
No.
Any other
You
team.
brought up stuff from
I don't wanna
before.
hear any other team.
No. You have to bring up other teams.
See, that's what you do.
Said
You automatically lose your
You
argument.
said
Don't.
that he was afraid of playing the Spurs. That's what you said, right?
He was.
Here's the problem.
Yeah.
At 41 years old,
41.
he wasn't playing both ends of a back-to-back or playing 3 and 4
So he
nights.
chose to play against the Mavericks and not the Spurs.
No. He
made a
played
choice.
against the Thunder
He made
the
a
night
choice.
before. No, he played against the
choice.
Thunder, who have a
Choice.
better record than the Spurs. He had 22, 10, and 6 against the Spurs. Didn't play against the Spurs on a back-to-back.
Yeah.
Sat out one day and then came back. That's the actual truth
Yeah.
of what happened.
Wow.
So he didn't play both ends of a back-to-back. Now, if you want to be mad at a 41-year-old person
I'm not mad
for
at
not
anybody.
playing both games
I'm
of a
not mad at
back-to-back,
anybody.
you clearly are.
I'm just pointing
this
out
is
facts.
what you
Facts
said about
are,
LeBron.
Why did he come out of the game up by 16, 3 minutes to go?
What are you talking about?
Why was LeBron James on the bench?
Listen, that game's not with the 3-point shot. That game is far from decided.
Up 16,
So,
3
yeah,
minutes
3
to go.
minutes to go with the 3-point shot
Against the
far
Mavericks with
from
nobody
decided.
playing.
So this is what GOAT James did.
Yeah.
Stayed in the game and did something that Jordan couldn't do, Kareem
my
couldn't do,
Lord.
or anyone else could do. Be the oldest gentleman to get a triple-double. You know why it's special? Because they are in playoff contention. And again, if you want to make sense of it, and Craig tried and failed, why would LeBron, who's ducking smoke, play against the better Thunder and not the worst Spurs? If you were trying to duck smoke, wouldn't it make sense to sit out the Thunder game and then play against the lesser Spurs? No, because at the end of the day,
the Spurs aren't lesser than the Thunder.
They are. They have a worse record.
The Spurs have owned the Thunder this year.
Factually have a worse record.
Okay, when they play head-to-head, who's got a better record?
No.
When they go head-to-head this year.
No, you can't do that. You have to do by standings.
No,
if
not
the
by
Lakers
standings.
the Lakers
play
are-
against
the
each other
Lakers
this
in their
year,
standings
when they've
are
played-
closer to the Spurs than the Thunder.
When they've played against each other this year, Spurs and Thunder head-to-head, who has a better record?
When they played head-to-head, doesn't have anything to do with the Lakers. The Lakers have lost to both of them.
I'm asking a question.
The Lakers have lost to both of them.
I just asked the question.
No. Who
You
has?
can't answer.
You won't answer mine. Who has a better record?
No.
This? No. You can't then.
The Spurs are better than the Thunder head-to-head.
You can't
That's a fact.
jettison facts
It's a fact.
and then insert other
Okay.
facts. No. Who has a better
let me
record?
ask you this question.
No.
You haven't
Who has
answered
a better
mine, so
record?
I'm not answering yours.
All right.
Okay?
Well, the good thing is the people
Spurs,
know.
Thunder.
The people know the Thunder have a better record.
Spurs dominated
the Thunder are the
this
one
year.
seed.
Okay. That being said, why is he in the game with 3 minutes to go up by 16?
To make sure they win the game.
No.
Especially without
no,
Luka.
no,
Without Luka, he's
no.
got to secure the W.
No.
Because they're nothing without Luka.
To make
so
sure
he has to secure the W.
To make sure he got a triple-double. That's
I don't
all
know.
it was about.
I don't know
And why
about
did he
that.
come out after he got the triple-double?
Because there was more time off the clock.
There was like 20 seconds more off the clock.
No. So
Yeah.
you took off some possessions. You got to
By the
count
way,
possessions.
I appreciate the fact that you're a stand for him. You're
I'm
like
not
all
a
these
stand.
other losers online.
I'm not a stand.
Who see nothing wrong with LeBron James. Bottom
of
line
course,
is this.
with excellence.
Let me say this.
With excellence.
Congratulations to LeBron James. I'm sure it made you happy. Maybe you went out and celebrated, ate some Wagyu and smoked a cigar and had your special edition Hennessy. I don't know. But the reality is this. It was on display last night. You can choose not to see it. You can choose to change the narrative of it.
What narrative?
That was
Back to back.
another abuse of stat padding by your self-appointed GOAT. All good. Lakers win like you knew they would. Hopefully you guys made some money on it. And we'll wait to see the next great team that he decides to duck. In any event, we got lots more going on than just another example of stat padding. Something happened in college football yesterday that I find frankly interesting and somewhat objectionable. And I want to be very clear about this. I love Trinidad Chambliss. Seems like a great kid. I want to see him maybe have a shot one day to make it in the pros, which he will. Obviously, a D2 champion, goes to Ole Miss. So as you know, yesterday was the big hearing, which we'll get to some sound for that hearing after the first break. And Joe Judge, who put himself himself on blast yesterday. But Trinidad Chambliss, 4 different times appealed to the NCAA. Either he did it himself or Ole Miss did it for him to get 1 more year of eligibility. Now, I want to be clear about this. I'd love to see Chambliss come back and play for Ole Miss. I got no issue at all. This Chambliss right there at the hearing, about 84 years old now, with 1 more year of eligibility. So on 4 different occasions, the NCAA heard the hearing, and they said, I'm sorry, we're not accepting the whole laryngitis and snoring issue from when you started your college career out. We are not giving you another year of eligibility. And by the way, we could argue pros and cons of that all day and night. That's not the point of this conversation. So on 4 different occasions, they attempt to appeal to the NCAA to get Trinidad Chambliss an extra year of eligibility. And the NCAA, for whatever the reason might be, said no every time. So then they go to court. And they happen to see a judge who went to Ole Miss Law School. So he is a proud supporter of the Ole Miss football program. And after hearing testimony on both sides, this judge, an Ole Miss supporter, decides, you know what? I think Ole Miss should have Trinidad Chambliss come back for 1 more year, and goes against and defies the NCAA, which on 4 different occasions said no to Chambliss. The judge says, you know what, son? I think you deserve to play another year of college football. So Trinidad Chambliss, despite being denied 4 times, is now coming back for another year of football at Ole Miss.
Yeah.
He had the right judge.
Yeah, well, and
Good
the
for
same
him.
thing happened in Alabama. Here's what the NCAA is going to have to actually do.
Yeah.
Have a uniform rule. So then
Sure.
a judge can judge from a rule. Instead, the NCAA is arbitrary, so you know what everybody else is doing? Find arbitrary judges.
Well, you got the right judge who graduated Ole Miss Law School.
Yeah.
Make sure he's the judge. And look, there's guys with 9 years of eligibility. There's another kid I saw yesterday, 11 years of eligibility. So I'm not saying Chambliss was wrong to ask, and I'm a big fan of that kid's, and I look forward to him coming back for another year at Ole Miss. So good for me as a college football fan. But, man, if you think the South doesn't rig some things in courtrooms, you are wrong, sir, because that decision was rigged.
We knew this was coming at some point, but did you think he was going for Kristaps Porzingis? It's almost like they thought they were going to get it on Giannis. They didn't get Giannis, so they went to Porzingis. Now, Porzingis is a stretch 5 if he's healthy. Rim protection, block shots, 3-point shooting, helps Golden State.
Pro basketball today, only on SportsGrid.
You guys had 2 weeks to prepare for this game. You knew you were facing a Mike McDonald defense that disguises everything, and that was your game plan, to play scared. I mean, Mike Vrabel, I love the guy. He played that game, Donnie, like it was a preseason scrimmage in August and not the Super Bowl.
The Early Line, only on SportsGrid.
Class is in session. Today, let's talk about the teaser. A teaser is a multi-leg bet where you shift the point spread in your favor. You get better numbers, but every selection has to win. It doesn't matter what you bet if you don't have the insights. Tune into SportsGrid and get ahead of the class.
Was last night so tough for you to swallow that you now want to get rid of the owner?
Yeah, that's right.
Because the big bad Knicks came into town off an embarrassing loss.
On a
and you
back-to-back.
guys are flexing your muscles about
We're not
how
flexing anything.
we're back.
Nope.
We're back. And you lost by 50?
Yeah, well, this is the problem.
Let's make the owner sell the team because
Man, he ducked the luxury
Sixers
tax.
can't compete.
The Craig Carton Show, only on SportsGrid.
All right. Welcome back to the Craig Carton Show. We're just talking about the BYU situation. I don't know why, but it seemed to make us happy during the break there. So Trinidad Chambliss, he's going to be back for another year at Ole Miss. But something else came out of that hearing, which has a lot of people talking. I'm sure this is going to make all the talk shows and the Fox Newses of the world and CNNs and sports talk as well. Joe Judge, former head coach of the New York Giants, been a coach for a long time. Was a special teams guy for a while, and got the job with the Giants, then went back to New England, and blah 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 blah. So he's on the Ole Miss coaching staff, right? Mm-hmm. So he was explaining to the judge, and I guess to whatever lawyers were cross-examining him about the lifestyle of a college football player. I honestly have no idea how this part of the conversation came up. I truly don't. But it's so awesome that I got to play it for you. So Joe Judge was talking about, as a coach, what happens when a college football player impregnates his girlfriend or wife, okay? Mm-hmm. And how the woman has to understand exactly what she's gotten herself into. And obviously, Joe Judge is possibly going to be fired today because there's going to be protests against him and against the Ole Miss football program. And you have a lot of women's rights advocates coming out, rightfully so, against Joe Judge. This is a proof yet again that football is still the last bastion of caveman mentality we have on this planet, and it's frankly accepted by the far majority of our population, all right? So Joe Judge talking about what he has to say to a young lady that might find herself pregnant or having just delivered a child to a member of his football team, and again, at the collegiate level.
Right.
We are not talking about NFL players here.
No, we're not.
This is the advice and the real-life talk that Joe Judge gives to a young lady who has just been impregnated by a member of that football team or has just given birth to a child that was fathered by a member of his college football team. I present to you Joe Judge.
But we would have to educate. This is always a tough conversation to have. It's not a popular thing. This is the truth. We would have to educate significant others who may have been pregnant during the season or going to have a baby during the season. And you have to educate them on, you have this baby in the middle of the season. That father has to play good football, right? It's a day-by-day production business. He has to be ready to perform and go out there and play. And when I say that is, you need to let him sleep. He needs to be in another room, detached. You have to explain to the mother, like, hey, listen, being waking up for midnight feedings. After the season, he's full metal jacket. You do whatever you want with him. And he change every diaper. But in season, he's got to have a different priority.
So the father of the child has to have a different priority than the child or the welfare of the mom that just gave birth to that child. And the three things I take out of that, if you're a young lady who's now pregnant, carrying the child of a football player at Ole Miss, or maybe you just gave birth to a child fathered by a football player at Ole Miss, you need to know a few rules. Number one, that guy has to play good football. That's number one. Number two, that guy needs to get his sleep, and his sleep is more important than your sleep. So maybe set up a separate room for you and the baby, separate from the dad, because that father needs a lot of sleep, and frankly, you don't. Number two, you have to make sure that that father's detached from feedings and diaper changes when that newborn wakes up saying, I'm hungry, or is colicky, or whatever.
I'm wet, I took a number two.
Now, when the football season is over, then of course that guy can do whatever you need him to do. But if you get pregnant and give birth during the football season, and God forbid it happens during spring ball, you can have zero expectation that you come first or that child comes first, because football has to come first.
Now, this is another thing that's going to get him in trouble. And that's why Lane Kiffin jumped into the mix and spoke about this on social media.
I saw Lane Kiffin put out a tweet, and the tweet was very simple. He wrote Joe and the emoji of putting your hand to your face.
Right. Now here's why. He also is blatantly saying that Ole Miss is committing blatant NCAA violations. You might be asking why.
Why?
Okay. In college, because again, this is not pro football, where guys might get to the thing at 5 a.m. and might stay till midnight, talking about the quarterbacks and stuff. You're only allowed to do football-related things during the season 20 hours a week.
Okay.
Because you're supposed to still be a student.
Right.
Now explain to me like I'm 5.
Yeah.
To where someone who has a, quote, part-time job, because you're only allowed to do 20 hours a week, can't change a diaper.
Yeah, well,
because they're not really there 20
has to
hours
get sleep,
a week.
Tyrone. You're forgetting sleep. Sleep does not count as a football activity.
Come on.
You got to make sure. Look,
come on.
If we're putting that kid.
Come on. Because he gets 20 hours a week. Wait a minute. If they're following the rules.
Yeah, which they probably aren't.
Right, but he's blatantly saying it.
Yeah.
I'm sure they're all breaking the rules. You don't say it out loud. Even if you're going to tell me now think about this.
Yeah.
In college, there was never a time where you had to do something for 4 hours in a day and you did it on no sleep?
Yeah, I'm pretty sure I did.
Of course you did. That's his way of saying that they're breaking the rules.
Yeah.
And the other part is, that girl since it's college could be as young as 18 or 19 years old.
That's correct.
And this 18 or 19-year-old, based on his words, you got to suck it up alone.
That's right.
Okay, because this guy can't help you at all.
Or I guess have your parents move to Ole Miss or go get a nanny or something like that. But what he's saying to you is if your boyfriend or husband is on scholarship or God forbid he's getting NIL money, you need to understand we want that guy sleeping. So when that baby wakes up at midnight, if you think that guy is going to get up and change that diaper and rock that kid to sleep, I'm sorry, sweetheart. You need to go somewhere else because we're going to make sure it's our job as coaches. If that kid comes to practice, yawning, and we find out that kid was up at 1 o'clock in the morning taking care of his baby, we're going to make sure that he stops because that's your job, little lady, not his job. Like, look, I know there's a lot of old school guys that watch us and listen to us, and I recognize that there's a thing among some men where that's the woman's job. I know it's a very old school way of thinking, all right? But in the 1950s and 60s, that was the deal.
I think into the 80s.
Yes. Like I know my dad used to say quite proudly, he never changed a diaper in his life.
Right.
And didn't understand that his sons might have changed the diaper at 3.
Because I know you have changed the diaper.
Of course I have, yes. I can also tell you, because I'm not going to play the tough guy role here, that at any point, my wife, who gave birth to 4 beautiful children and breastfed all of them, kicked me at 1 o'clock in the morning. Honey, do me a solid. It's your turn. And I said, nah, baby, I can't because my boss told me that it's your job. I need to get some sleep and it's your responsibility. I would not have this ring on my finger right now today. I can promise you that. So let's not talk tough. Let's keep it real.
Cowboys. Like, they're competitive every year. They're going to win a Super Bowl? No, but at least at the beginning of the season, like, I have aspirations to make a playoff, maybe win the division and see what we can do. For the Raiders, every day, the minute you kick off week number 1, you are out of the playoff picture. You stink and can't perform. That's tough because you don't get a 20-year career as a defensive end typically in the NFL. So your time now is to strike. I have all the money. Now I want to win.
The Early Line, only on SportsGrid.
So you know Gary Bettman wants the USA to win because he knows the bump that they can get out of this. Canada wins, and it's like, yeah, whatever. Right? And the level of pressure on Canada in this is next level. It's like it's equivalent to like Argentina in soccer or something, Brazil. It's one of those like, yeah, if you lose, don't bother coming home.
Winter Games Central, only on SportsGrid.
Class is in session. Today, let's talk about the teaser. A teaser is a multi-leg bet where you shift the point spread in your favor. You get better numbers, but every selection has to win. It doesn't matter what you bet if you don't have the insights. Tune into SportsGrid and get ahead of the class.
Road trips to Kentucky and Tennessee, which are pressure environments where mistakes can snowball a team quickly. And not even listen out of those games there. How about the home games they have left with Alabama and Florida, who bring size, who bring pace, and physicality that punish you on both ends of the floor.
College basketball today, only on SportsGrid.
All right, right, welcome back to the Craig Carton Show. Tyrone Johnson here as well. We've made it to All-Star Weekend, of course, for the NBA. It's so sad to me because, when I was a kid growing up, All-Star Weekend was everything. You know, the dunk contest with great players playing in it. And I know I'm preaching to the choir here a little bit. You know, the All-Star Weekend has, become unwatchable, which is why they're trying this new format, round robin USA versus the world. I got to be honest, though. I've been the guy that was touting and begging Adam Silver to do USA versus the world, and they're doing it, but it's such like a convoluted way to do it. So you got 3 teams, USA Stars, USA Stripes, and then the world team. And honest to God, I had to study this for about an hour this morning to really figure out what the hell we're doing. And here's what I figured out. So it's a round-robin tournament. All right, so everybody gets to play everybody. The game is a 12-minute game. So you're playing essentially 1 quarter of basketball.
Yeah.
All right? So at the end of the round robin, whatever 2 teams have the best record, they then play head-to-head for the championship. But I think the championship game is also a 12-minute game. And the idea behind that is if you add up the round robin games, right? There'd be 3 games.
So that's 36
3
minutes.
quarters. And then the championship game
is the
so
fourth
you're
quarter.
playing 4 quarters of basketball.
48 minutes like a standard game.
Right. Now, the players that advance, I guess, would be playing 3 quarters of total basketball because everybody has to sit 1 quarter out because, A versus B, C is out, B versus C, A is out, like that. So it's a little convoluted. And then I was trying to figure out, there's a possibility that every team after the round robin has 1 win. That's on the table. Yeah. All right. So then I was trying to research what the hell happens if every team is tied 1-1.
Is it point differential?
So they go point differential.
Yeah.
So the 2 teams that have the highest, I think it's the biggest spread, plus whatever.
Yeah.
Those 2 teams advance.
Right.
All right. So we're on the same page on that. So USA, you can see the teams there. They've kind of created like an old head team versus a younger team in theory, and the world team is what it is. So it's a little convoluted for me. But I do think it's going to be better than what we've got in the last 5, 6, 7 years, which is not even like a playground game. It's more like an and-one mixtape game where nobody plays any defense. And let me just see, hell, can I make a 50-foot jump shot? Can I give you a 30-foot alley-oop? Can I do a spectacular dunk? And it's not basketball, obviously. So I do think this is a step in the right direction. But, man, I want it to just be A versus B. I want USA versus the world. And I recognize that we're going to have to leave some dudes out. Too bad. We do it in the Olympics every 4 years. Leave a couple guys out. Give me the 12 best Americans against the 12 best international players, and let's play basketball. Like the round robin, like if we wind up with USA Stars versus USA Stripes,
that's right.
That final 12-minute period for the championship is going to go back to what it was.
Right, but that would be, but then blame the world. You can't have an idea.
But what if the world loses, like fair and square?
Wait a minute. If they lose fair and square, then they're not good enough. See, that's the thing. I believe you wanted world versus there because you believe the world's better.
Because I think I get a better game.
Yeah, no, I think you believe the world's better.
I think
that's what you really think.
I think there's a chance if we took the 12 best Americans and the 12 best world players, I think it's a legitimate game.
Yeah, I don't because I don't think the world plays enough defense. I think that
you think American dudes play defense?
Yes.
European guys play more defense than American guys do.
No, the hell they don't.
100% they do.
So Luka plays more defense.
You're going to pick out one guy.
No,
Luka's
one
a bad
guy, he's
defensive player.
Jokic plays a lot of defense.
You're picking out 2 guys. He doesn't play a lot of defense.
Wait a minute. I'm picking. Yeah. So I'll give you that Giannis tries to play defense.
SGA plays defense.
Better
than Luka and
better than those
Joker.
guys.
Yeah.
Bring up the world squad again.
Yeah, bring up the world squad again.
I gotta look and see how many
Europeans learn how to play defense.
SGA's out. Avidan, the Jewish player. Very good. Very good offensive player.
Yeah.
The Israeli player. Very good. Jokic.
Yeah.
Jamal Murray. Nope. No.
I mean, Jamal Murray, no.
He don't play defense.
Plays a little defense.
Siakam plays defense.
That's right.
Karl Anthony Towns.
My guy.
plays defense.
That's a defensive
plays
star.
defense. And Wemby plays some defense.
Yeah.
Wemby plays defense.
I mean, don't you remember what Kobe Bryant said, may he rest in peace, that the problem with the American game versus the European game is that European dudes play defense and know the fundamentals of basketball better because they're taught it. American kids grow up, and we just want to be highlight reel guys. Let's stop. Look, I'll give you Joker and Luka, but you have to give me this. American dudes, all-stars, do not like playing defense.
We should look
you got to give me that.
We should look at recent all-defensive teams.
Yeah.
And we'll see how many of those guys actually play any defense.
And by the way, you left out Wembanyama Mama. He don't play defense?
No, I brought him up. I swear I brought him up. And he absolutely defends.
Yeah, yes, he
does. And I
does.
believe that the significance of this weekend is Wemby is a big basketball star, but he's not LeBron or Curry as far as being famous. He will be world famous with regular people by Monday.
Well, he's European famous for sure. But obviously LeBron's a bigger star 23 years later. But we'll see how it plays out. We'll see.
Class is in session. Today, let's talk about the teaser. A teaser is a multi-leg bet where you shift the point spread in your favor. You get better numbers, but every selection has to win. It doesn't matter what you bet if you don't have the insights. Tune into SportsGrid and get ahead of the class.
I don't think he was trying to take a shot at the team at all. It was just a plain and simple and obvious fact.
I think what's difficult, though, is, and I agree with you, right? I guess I agree with LeBron. The assessment of it all, it's why the Lakers organization seems to be comfortable with that truth, unless they disagree. But again, I don't really know how you disagree.
Game time decisions. Only on SportsGrid.
You guys had 2 weeks to prepare for this game. You knew you were facing a Mike McDonald defense that disguises everything, and that was your game plan, to play scared. I mean, Mike Vrabel, I love the guy. He played that game, Donnie, like it was a preseason scrimmage in August and not the Super Bowl.
The early line. Only on SportsGrid.
It looked like a clump of grass. It didn't look like an eagle. That's the one, by the way, that USA Today claimed was the best ad. They thought the Lay's ad was number 2. The worst ad was any ad that had AI in it or had an AI company behind it. It wasn't because of the AI. It was because they were the most nonsensical ads you've ever seen. Does anybody look at these ads and understand if they are actually trying to do what they're trying to do, which is to showcase the product as opposed to being great with AI? Very embarrassing.
Newswire. Only on SportsGrid.
All right, welcome back to the Craig Carton Show. Tyron A. Johnson here as well. You may remember this. You may not, because it's kind of a New York story more than a Philly story. But last year, and for every year for the last decade, NFL players have put out report cards.
Yeah, oh yeah.
And Philly talks about this as well.
The reason they did was the weight room did not get a very good score.
Got it.
At the NovaCare Center. It was a state-of-the-art building. Now it's an old building, and we talked about it because.
So basically, what happens at the end of the year, all the players are handed a piece of paper, and it's just a questionnaire, and it gives the players an opportunity to kind of anonymously bitch about what they don't like and do like about their owner. Like, is the locker room good? Are the chairs good? Is the workout room good?
The food, the Bengals notoriously cheap with the food and tickets and things.
So for the last few years, actually, the owner that got the worst grades, if you believe it or not, was actually the Hunt family in Kansas City. And the idea is that he took a lot of the money that they made and he built what right now amounts to, I think it's a 3-story, 5-bedroom apartment inside Arrowhead Stadium that I think part of the Hunt family actually lives in, even during the offseason. But if you go to the Kansas City Chiefs locker room, it was not up to snuff with a lot of the other top-level programs' locker rooms, and the players bitched about it. Players, when given the opportunity to complain about something, will complain about something.
Yeah.
You know, the stools aren't good, the chair's not comfortable, my locker's not big enough. All these random things.
You got a lot
right?
of big guys that say the plane seats are too small.
Yeah.
That one is in there
So
too.
believe it or not, and you know, even though the Kansas City Chiefs have been the best team in football for the last decade, their owner has gotten an F from his own players. So the New York Jets, as you can imagine, have not had great things to say about Woody Johnson. Now, they have given very high grades to the nutritional program. They have a great chef, and the food is legit. The locker room's great, the workout facility, the fields. They actually get very high marks. But Woody Johnson, as the owner, has not gotten high grades, as you could expect.
Right.
They've been a joke of a franchise.
Right.
So to show you how sensitive some guys are, even when they're billionaires and own football teams, Woody Johnson went to Roger Goodell and went to the other NFL owners, and he complained that the players were being given these sheets to grade his ownership on. He didn't like the fact that it became public that members of the New York Jets gave him an F for this, a B for that, a D for this, an A for that. He was embarrassed by it. So he went to the NFL and he complained. And he said, there's got to be something we can do. The players should not be allowed to judge us publicly. Which that tells you the mindset of Woody Johnson as an owner.
Yep.
It tells you that he's more concerned with what the players think about him than actually giving the players what they need. Now, let's be fair. Some of the requests the players have are not needed.
True.
It's a luxury, and maybe they're being greedy about things, but still, it's a universal questionnaire. Like the Jets questionnaire was no different than the Chiefs questionnaire,
Right.
or the Eagles, or the Cowboys, or the Raiders, or anybody else.
Right,
It's
all
fair.
of them. All of them across the board. And just to be clear, what Craig's about to share, Woody Johnson spearheaded this.
Yes.
Other owners fell in line,
Yes.
but Woody Johnson is the reason this happened.
Yes, he is the lead owner on what I'm about to tell you.
Yes.
The other owners did fall in line. So Woody Johnson complained to the NFL that they should take this up with the NFL Players Association because he thinks it's something that's got to be done. So they did. And apparently, there's a clause in the collective bargaining agreement that prohibits this type of thing from happening. So the NFL actually went to the Players Association and demanded that they stop providing players the opportunity to file what amounts to a public grievance against their respective owners for things they don't like at the facility, at the stadium, etc. And get this, they won.
They won.
So apparently there is a clause in the collective bargaining agreement that prohibits players from putting out report cards judging their owners. And from this point forward, they are now not allowed to do it.
Yes, so.
I mean, is that crazy?
It is crazy. Now, Andrew Brandt, he's an attorney. He teaches at the Murad Center in Villanova, says, at Villanova University, just so we're clear, Villanova Law. He teaches a class. He worked at NFL front offices. Apparently, this has to do with, quote, damaging the shield. So, the owners, for example, are not part of the CBA. But let's say it comes out, Tish, you were talking about yesterday, that he did something wrong. They can fine him because it, quote, damages the shield.
Makes sense, right.
Well, apparently, the loophole they used was these negative report cards damage the shield. So when fans look at the league, it hurts the league. And that's the way they wiggled their way in.
Okay, so stop there, because it's a great point. So let me just walk you through what's happening in the last 24 hours. In the last 24 hours, the NFL decided that NFL players being critical of their owners and what they provide their players, from facilities to food to workout rooms, etc., that damages the shield, and we have to stop that immediately. And the NFL goes to war with the PA, and very quickly the PA loses it, and the NFL gets their way. No more report cards. That's happened in the last 24 hours. In the same period of time, the NFL has decided they find nothing wrong with one of their owners cavorting with Jeffrey Epstein. That's not bad for the NFL shield, because the NFL, in the moment, this could change tomorrow.
But for now,
in the moment, the Steve Tisch emails with Jeffrey Epstein are not problematic for the NFL shield, but a player on the Jets saying that Woody Johnson failed us when it came to A, B, C, and D is a problem for the shield. Pedophilia, sex trafficking, and Epstein, not a problem for the shield. Saying I want better food or a better bench press machine is a problem for the shield. Okay. It does. Now again, I know there's apples and then there's broccoli over here.
Right.
But does it make any sense at all that the NFL thinks players openly complaining or asking for better or upgraded facilities is worse for the Shield than one of your 32 owners cavorting around and having Jeffrey Epstein provide women for sex? That's not bad for the Shield. Just so I have this right.
Right.
And I know that they're two different stories. I get it. But they both happen in the last 24 hours. So, Epstein, not a problem for the NFL. I want broccoli, problem for the NFL.
Yes. Absolutely.
I got that right.
You got that right.
Okay.
And then the players. Now, we all watch Sunday Night Football. Of course, those are the marquee games.
Yes.
J.J. Watt brings up a good point.
Go.
So, NFL players can't grade a workplace that they go to every single day, and they want those guys to sleep there. They can't say a word. Meanwhile, on TV, a third party, Pro Football Focus, is allowed to grade every single player publicly.
Right.
Every single week. Meanwhile, they talk about, oh, what's the big deal? Saquon Barkley, not this past year, the year before, 2,000 yards, was clear Offensive Player of the Year, clearly the best running back in the sport.
Not even debatable.
According to Pro Football Focus,
Yeah.
he was the 12th best running back.
Oh, is that right?
By the grades. So they're allowed to grade,
right.
But the players can't say,
yes,
man, the food here stinks.
Yeah, and I'll do you one better. The NFL and also employs a broadcaster named Chris Collinsworth. Chris Collinsworth owns Pro Football Focus. So now you're letting a voice of the NFL also grade every player publicly and refer to those grades. And we've now learned over the course of the last couple of years, actually, there are some GMs that use Pro Football Focus to make free agent decisions and contract decisions. So that's okay. But if a player merely says in an anonymous piece of paper, I'd like a bigger chair by my locker, that's a problem for the Shield. That's a problem.
That's a problem.
But they can judge the players publicly. And cost them money.
Yes.
Because if I'm a GM, and I think it's silly to do this, but if you're a GM that's going to make a hiring decision based on a PFF ranking, and take Saquon Barkley, it didn't work out this way. Obviously, he got raised on that.
But he could have been.
But
it could have.
If I'm saying, wait a minute, I'm not gonna pay you based on being the number one running back. Let's see where PFF ranks you. Oh, they have you 12th. I'm gonna pay you like the 12th best running back.
Right.
I've now taken money out of a player's pocket. That's okay.
That's fine.
But the player saying, "Excuse me, Mr. Owner, is there a chance that we could have some, I don't know, some more carrots and vegetables at the dinner table?"
Oh, how dare you?
How dare you suggest that we don't feed you well? Oh, I love it. The duplicity of the NFL knows no bounds. Never has, never will. Never has, never will. You know what I think we should do?
What's that?
I think we should institute an annual rating system.
Oh.
Here. Fill out some boxes. Yeah. The only problem is, I guess that'd be you guys against me, though. I wouldn't like that at all now.
Little bit.
But I get to grade back. All right, let's do it. Grades for everybody.
It looked like a clump of grass. It didn't look like an eagle. That's the one, by the way, that USA Today claimed was the best ad. They thought the Lay's ad was number 2. The worst ad was any ad that had AI in it or had an AI company behind it. It wasn't because of the AI. It was because they were the most nonsensical ads you've ever seen. Does anybody look at these ads and understand if they are actually trying to do what they're trying to do, which is to showcase the product as opposed to being great with AI? Very embarrassing.
Newswire, only on SportsGrid.
Road trips to Kentucky and Tennessee, which are pressure environments where mistakes can snowball a team quickly. And not even listen out of those games there. How about the home games they have left with Alabama and Florida, who bring size, who bring pace, and physicality that punish you on both ends of the floor.
College basketball today, only on SportsGrid.
The Patriots postseason to the worst regular season of the last umpteen years. Fair enough?
Fair.
All right. So the Patriots postseason, they averaged 1.13 points per drive, okay? The winless Cleveland Browns about 10 years ago averaged 1.22.
The Craig Carton Show, only on SportsGrid.
Class is in session. Today, let's talk about the teaser. A teaser is a multi-leg bet where you shift the point spread in your favor. You get better numbers, but every selection has to win. It doesn't matter what you bet if you don't have the insights. Tune into SportsGrid and get ahead of the class.
Hi, welcome back to the Craig Carton Show. Tyron Johnson here as well. Coming up, infighting in New England, courtesy of NFL Films. Get to that in a second. But as you know, the Olympics have started.
Yeah.
And usually, if I know we can't show you highlights of it, and I'm not a big hockey guy, but if you want to see one of the great tic-tac-toe type of goals in hockey, go watch what the Americans did yesterday.
Yes.
It's like out of a movie. Yeah, it's like
incredible.
ping, 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 goal.
Yeah.
It was awesome.
Yeah, it absolutely
And I'm
was.
not a hockey guy, but I appreciate it. I watched it like 10 times.
Yeah.
It was nice to see.
No, I love how much those guys enjoy it. They look forward to it. And you get a higher level of play because you only get the best of the best.
Yeah, I am concerned, though, about Team USA when it comes to the Olympics, though.
Why?
There's a story that came across my desk this morning.
Uh-oh.
It's a little concerning to me. You guys have all heard the stories of Olympic Village, and how a lot of the single athletes, when their event's done or their event's not coming up for a week or so, it's like a fraternity sorority kind of mixer.
Yeah.
And there's a lot of knocking to boots, as we used to say back in the day, right?
Right.
So they usually provide complimentary condoms.
Yeah.
Because nobody wants to be getting pregnant.
Or
at the Olympics.
or STIs. You don't want
Matter of
anybody to
fact,
get STIs.
That was me last week for the opening ceremonies there.
Yeah.
As you know, I
have reason to believe that this is doctored.
No, that's me.
No, that's not you.
That's me.
No, nope. That is doctored.
No.
Okay, you don't get anything gold there.
Yeah,
you
I did.
get silver. I can prove it.
Yeah.
I can prove it.
That's me with my extra large.
There it is. There's me with the gold and you with the silver.
Wait a minute.
Listen.
I don't mind sharing a room with you, Tyrone.
Listen.
But your package is in that picture a lot bigger than mine.
Listen. There's a lot of people that prefer that size. I got the ones that prefer my size. All right? It's enough to go around. All right?
I was kind of hoping that whatever I was holding was going to be a little bit bigger than what you were holding, but...
Hey, the gold medal, you know.
Yeah.
I was looking for people from Luxembourg and different places. You know?
Leave that up there for a second, because I also want to say this for those of you that are online right now, accusing me of being a racist for my take on LeBron James. I'd like to think that this proves that I'm a racist.
Listen, in Craig's defense, and even mine, we didn't come up with the graphic.
No, we did not.
No, I saw the graphic, but I didn't come up with the graphic.
By the way, the only graphic I saw was me alone.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Right before the show, about 4 minutes before the show, I found out there was
I ain't
another
ashamed of my game. By the way, I'll take that physique all day too. You kidding me? That's the goal right there.
Boy, like for example, bobsled starts next week. The rumors are that the bobsledders this week will go.
Getting busy?
Yeah, because they don't got to lock in yet.
By the way, before I finish the condom story, did you see there's that one event? It's not bobsled. I think it's like the two-man luge.
Yes.
So I don't know if you guys can find a picture, put that up. The two-man luge is problematic for me. Like Tyrone and I hugging in bed, I'm good with it. Like I'm good. I'm secure in who I am.
Yeah.
Yeah, like we're good.
Yeah.
But me and Tyrone are not participating in no two-man luge.
It is.
Like, how do you wake up? So the two-man luge, I'm not sure if they find a picture or not. That's on me. It's basically, so you're on a sled.
You're laying on, and one guy's laying on his back.
There's two dudes just on top of each other laid out.
That's right.
So who wakes up one day and goes, nah, bobsled, I don't want to be a bobsledder. No, that's not mine. Downhill skiing.
Skeleton where you lay on your face by yourself? Nah,
that's not for me. Oh, you know what would be a great event for me? If I could only find another grown man to lay on top of me and press his junk against mine and go really fast down some kind of icy tube while gripping each other, holding on for dear life. Yeah, man-on-man action. I want to sign up for that.
Yeah. And even if you like that in general in your recreational life, because I'm not judging, you want it like that? Like, that's what I'm saying. Like, you don't want it like that.
No.
You want it in a fun way.
Yeah, there you go. Thank you, guys.
You want that in a fun way.
I'm just trying to figure out who woke up and goes, yeah, I want to be on the bottom of that.
And then
Or maybe, by the way, maybe the guy in the bottom is a better spot to be.
Probably, but he has no control of sled. I'm assuming the guy up top who can see is steering.
How is that a sport?
How's that a sport?
How is that a sport that you could actually win a gold medal in? Right? The dude on the bottom ain't doing nothing.
He's just laying there.
Yeah, he's just laying there.
Meanwhile, the guy at the top's furious about it. Can you put in some work? You got in the position. You're not doing nothing. You just let gravity do everything. Help a brother out.
Yeah. The guy on the bottom's like, I swear to God, I just had an itch.
Every movement, though, you have to feel.
Yeah, of course you feel everything. Yeah, in your ass, too. By the way, you go home with the gold. You got a story to tell. Like, in a weird way.
Who was your partner?
I'd rather be the guy that comes home. My friends are like, we didn't watch it, but how'd you do? No, I didn't even participate.
I didn't do it.
Because if you come home with the gold, now everybody wants to see it.
Right.
So that means they're coming to your house, in your living room.
The local news.
You're sitting there, and your family don't know exactly what the two-man luge is.
Right.
And all of a sudden, you got the big screen TV, local news is there. And they're like, hi, Mom and Dad, good. Put it on. And you're like, what had happened was I didn't know he'd be on top of me.
Yeah. I thought it was like the bobsled. I thought it was like a bobsled with no walls. Oh, it was something else.
Yeah, that's an interesting sport. But back to the condom story. So they provided the Olympic athletes this year with 10,000 complimentary condoms.
All right, so it only started Friday.
Yes.
And this, I'm assuming, happened either like recently, because we're only at Friday, but
so it's a week.
Like a week, yeah.
Let's even be nice and say they got there Thursday. They've been living in Olympic Village for 8 days.
Okay.
8 days.
Okay.
The 10,000 condoms, gone.
Wow.
Gone. All gone.
All gone. And just so we know, the Winter Olympics are smaller than the Summer Olympics, so there's less total athletes.
Gone. 10,000 condoms, poof, gone.
That's...
Here's I can tell you that, look, there's some countries that are not going to do well this weekend.
You're going to wonder.
In the Olympic Games.
You're going to wonder why. Why does that person always come up short at the Olympics? Because they stayed at the Village. They need to be at a hotel.
I'm thinking it's the Greeks. I think.
They do. I didn't know they did Winter Olympics like that. The Greeks.
You're like, how come Billy had such a bad Olympic performance? 10,000 condoms have now disappeared from Olympic Village.
Wow.
Yeah.
That's almost impossible, but it's real.
Yeah, it's like you got Will Chamberlain on every team is what you got out there.
Goodness.
But I know we do this story every time the Olympics happen, but I never heard 10,000
This is way more
disappearing in 8 days or 7 days.
I'm assuming they'll get some new ones, but are they good ones?
I think you do, right?
Are they good ones?
It's probably like a condom sponsor or something.
Yeah.
We got more coming up before we skedaddle. It's the Craig Carton Show. Don't touch it.
Dallas Cowboys. Like, they're competitive every year. They're going to win a Super Bowl? No, but at least at the beginning of the season, like, I have aspirations to make a playoff, maybe win the division and see what we can do. For the Raiders, every day, the minute you kick off week number 1, you are out of the playoff picture. You stink and can't perform. That's tough because you don't get a 20-year career as a defensive end typically in the NFL. So your time now is to strike. I have all the money. Now I want to win.
The Early Line, only on SportsGrid.
So you know Gary Bettman wants the USA to win because he knows the bump that they can get out of this. Canada wins, and it's like, yeah, whatever. Right? And the level of pressure on Canada in this is next level. It's like it's equivalent to like Argentina in soccer or something, Brazil. It's one of those like, yeah, if you lose, don't bother coming home.
Winter Games Central, only on SportsGrid.
Class is in session. Today, let's talk about the teaser. A teaser is a multi-leg bet where you shift the point spread in your favor. You get better numbers, but every selection has to win. It doesn't matter what you bet if you don't have the insights. Tune into SportsGrid and get ahead of the class.
road trips to Kentucky and Tennessee, which are pressure environments where mistakes can snowball a team quickly. And not even listen out of those games there. How about the home games they have left with Alabama and Florida, who bring size, who bring pace, and physicality that punish you on both ends of the floor.
College basketball today, only on SportsGrid.
All right, welcome back to the Craig Carton Show. Great to have you. Tyrone Johnson here as well. By the way, 32 years ago today, one of the great moments in Philadelphia sports history happened when the Temple basketball coach John Chaney physically attacked John Calipari while he was the UMass head coach. And he's like, I'm going to kill you. I'll kill you. I'll kill you. Yeah. Now, I was doing sports talk back then in Philadelphia. You were obviously a fan, as we all were, of John Chaney's in Temple.
Yeah.
But I'll never forget that moment. He literally tried to choke the life out of John Calipari.
Yeah, it was crazy.
I'll kill you. I'll kill you.
Right, he got suspended, and it was wrong, but the thing he was mad about Calipari
cheating, right?
Was correct, because Calipari's cheated everywhere. He ended up having to vacate all those UMass wins. Not that I'm an anti-Calipari guy, but Chaney was a guy who, quote, did it the right way.
Yes.
And lived it a certain way.
Yeah.
And when he found out, like, this is why I'm losing?
Yeah.
Because he's
this guy?
He literally, for people that don't or not old
go
enough
watch.
to remember.
I'm sure it's on YouTube.
Yeah, it's on YouTube. You find it on Twitter. He literally, if he gotten to him, he would have choked him out.
Absolutely right.
It would have absolutely choked him out.
And I give Calipari credit. Like, he walked down from the podium and he's like, you want some, old man? And they got to get like, so hands were put on each other. Yeah. But that's why I love John Chaney. Yeah. Real quick. So I know everyone in New England's upset with me. Everybody wants to attack me and beat me up because I said that Drake May's an average quarterback and was an average quarterback at best the entire playoffs, had a bad Super Bowl. Here's what's interesting. One of the great things NFL Films, and I guess ESPN does it now too. They mic up the sideline, and after the Super Bowl, we get to hear what the guys are actually saying. Yeah. It's one of my favorite pieces of video every time they do it. I can't get enough of it. So it's funny because there's a defensive tackle named Christian Barmore. He's on the New England Patriots. And they released the video yesterday of him and another defensive lineman on the sideline towards the end of the game, and they're kind of bitching about Drake May. Yeah. And back and forth, they're like, this is going to sting a little bit. And Barmore goes, it wasn't us. It wasn't us. It wasn't us. And they're pissed at the offense. Yeah. By the way, rightfully so.
12 points through three quarters.
Yeah, like the offense did nothing.
Quarters. Yeah.
Right? But I just wonder, now that this is public, if at any point, I don't think Drake May would do it because he's such a young player still, and he played like crap, so he doesn't have a leg to stand on. It's interesting to me that you have this infighting now, and there's infighting on the sideline, clearly, where Christian Barmore is blaming Drake May and blaming the offense, because I'm wondering if anybody said to Christian Barmore, aren't you a defensive lineman that allowed Kenneth Walker to rush for 140 yards and be Super Bowl MVP in an era where it's almost impossible these days for a non-quarterback to be MVP? And if that last run had counted, he would have run for 200 yards in the Super Bowl. So, yes, Drake May played like crap. Yes, the offense did not give you a chance.
Right.
Factual. But if I'm a guy responsible for stopping the run, which he is, and Kenny Walker all by himself ran for 100 or whatever it was, 20, 30, 40 yards, and was the Super Bowl MVP, you might not want to be pointing fingers at anybody else.
Absolutely.
Is that not fair?
Absolutely. Like that cliche is real when they talk about winners a team, losers a team for this reason. Yes, Drake May stunk, and you've said it 100 times, right? Offensive line also stunk, though. So it's not like the offensive line can point fingers at anybody else.
Correct.
Drake May can't point fingers. And in the biggest moments, the biggest third downs, you knew where the ball was going. They were going to a running back, and they could do nothing about it. So you got to look at yourself in the mirror first. I would question whether or not I bring a guy like that back.
Well,
teams have done that.
Yeah.
Have made moves
and it's
based
public
on that.
now.
Right.
Because he's on camera. He doesn't know he's on camera, obviously.
He's in the moment.
And to be fair, it's probably not fair to him that they release this video because it's in the moment. He's emotional. He's hot because they just lost the Super Bowl. He knows they're going to lose the Super Bowl. But that being said, I love it. because for all those of you that thought that this was a tight-knit team and everybody had each other's back, I think Mike Vrabel does. I think Mike Vrabel after the game was awesome.
He was.
You know, telling every guy, look, we lose as a team, we win as a team, we will be back. I thought that was brilliant. And I have great respect for Mike Vrabel.
I agree.
But, man, Christian Barmore, you're throwing dudes under the bus. You let a running back be Super Bowl MVP.
Right.
And the fact that there's infighting now amongst the Patriots, you ain't going back next year. You're a 6-win team next year, at best.
At best, you're correct about that.
That's
and
right.
I've seen two teams lose, my Eagles teams lose. When the T.O. one, where he toughed it out, there was a lot of infighting. The Eagles never got back. The team a couple of years ago that lost to the Chiefs, they were still together, and they got back. This stuff matters. Patriots, I have to now agree with Craig. You're cooked.
It's a wrap.
You're cooked.
Infighting, pointing fingers at each other, not taking any ownership of anything. That is a wrap. That's one and done. Other quick NFL news, and I hate this. NFL season's going to open up this year on a Wednesday. It's going to be a Wednesday game and a Thursday game. The Wednesday game right now looks like it's going to be 49ers-Rams in Australia.
Hate that.
And then Thursday, the Seahawks open up to defend their championship. Now, if they decide to put Rams-Niners on Thursday, then Seahawks will open up on Wednesday. They can't play that game on a Friday, I don't think. So they open up on a Wednesday.